Hey guys, welcome back to the vlog today. I'm Amelia and my husband is Gary. My kids are Riley and Lorelai. Thank you so much for joining us today. Today I'm going to be talking about why we decided to homeschool and how it came about. I wanted to homeschool as a kid. I was homeschooled. I wanted to homeschool my kids, but my husband was not into it. He really didn't have a whole lot of knowledge about it and he didn't understand a lot of it. So I went along with my husband at the time, and we sent our son to kindergarten, and we sent our daughter to preschool. There were a few things that we enjoyed and loved about it. He had friends. He was playing. He went to school. He enjoyed it. He did well socially. He did well for the most part. However, there are things that I, as a mom, did not like or kept seeing, and I kept bringing it up to teachers, his principal, things like that, and they were like, oh, he's a boy, he'll catch up, girls do more than boys do, blah, 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 or, oh, it's just because he hasn't been in preschool, so it'll catch up. He'll catch up when it sees his peers doing it. Well, come to the end of first grade, I got a call for the teacher conference, and they're like, hey, did you notice this at all? And I was like, y'all, I've been saying this for 2 years now. I have the emails, I have the phone calls, I have everything you said, and I'm out. I've been asking you guys for help for the last 2 years. If I can't do this while you guys are in school and I'm talking to you about it, then I'm just going to take my kids out on a trot. So that summer when my son came out of school, I did homeschool between the end of the school and the beginning of the school. And we enrolled for the next year. And I'm like, we are doing a great job here. He has come so far from just the last 3 months that I worked with him versus the 2 years that he had been in that school. So we had decided that we were going to try for the summer, and he did great. So we ended up just taking them out and never looked back. I'm so excited that I did. It has given us freedom. It has given us more joy. It's given us more time during the day. It has given me peace. I am not fighting with my kids at 7 o'clock every morning to get up, get out of bed, and get in the school and get in the car to get to school. It's so much more relaxing. It's so much more joy. Yeah, we have hard days. We have tough days. We have days where we fight, and we're not perfect because we're humans. But God has been amazing at providing. The first year, I didn't know what I was going to do or how I was going to homeschool them with the curriculum being so expensive. And it even took me a couple of years to figure out what we wanted to do for homeschooling. But God provided the books. He provided everything needed. And it just kind of fell into place because God is God and God makes everything work. And so that was like one of the reasons why I know it was God that wanted us to. And every year after that, God has provided, whether it's somebody offering or Gary having overtime enough where we had enough overtime to buy the books, and even switch curriculums several times before we found what we actually enjoy and what actually helps the kids. So another reason why we homeschool is because I honestly know without a doubt right now that this is where God has me and this is where God has our kids, is homeschooling. With the violence in schools today, it just gives me a little bit more peace. Yes, I know anything can happen anywhere, no matter where you go. But I have more control over where we go, what we do, when we do. Another thing I like about homeschooling and why I enjoy it so much is because we get to work on our terms. We get to work where my kids are, and we get to move where they need to be. I get to see the progress of my kids on a daily basis versus waiting for the report card or waiting for, their spelling test or whatever. That was something that was really hard for my son because he'd come home and he'd bring a spelling test home and it would be 0. He would get a horrible spelling. But now when we're working with him, he aces them almost all the time. And we worked 30 to 40 to 50, sometimes 2 hours on just doing his spelling. And we didn't get that much done. We didn't make that much progress. However, now we work with him on a daily basis and we don't have homework. That's another thing I don't like. I love about homeschooling is we get it done in the morning and somewhat in the afternoon and we are done. We get to have that rest of the time to play with friends, to hang out and just enjoy each other's company. We play a lot of games in our house and we interact with each other more than I think the average family does. With my husband getting off early in the day versus later in the day, we are able to have game time. We are able to have family time. Usually families, their dads or moms, however it works, they don't get off till 5, 6 in the afternoon. And then they eat, they do homework, and then it's bedtime. I love that we get to be on my husband's schedule. If he has off a day, we take off a day. If we have to work on a Saturday or if we have to not work on a Saturday and just work, that works for us. I found my kids, they do so much better. Like if we start after 10 versus at 8, my kids are more awake. They're more alert. They're more willing to do their school versus fighting to get them in the car at 7 o'clock. It's just something that really works for our family. Now, this may not work for every family, and that's fine. But this video is about how we and why we homeschool. So another reason why is I get to pick the curriculum. I get to pick what my children learn and when. I don't have to listen to what the public school is teaching my kids about the reproductive system. I get to teach what I feel is appropriate at their age. I get to teach when they learn things. And to me, that is amazing because I get to protect my kids' innocence until it's time. And that is just my kids being able to enjoy friendships, enjoy without that added peer pressure of whatever you got to do. My kids are ecstatic at being kids. Okay, ecstatic, that's not the right word. My kids enjoy their childhood. My son plays with my daughter with dolls, with playing doctor, playing dress up, playing stuff like that because he doesn't care, because one day he's going to be a dad and he'll have to do that with his kids possibly. And so it's okay if he plays with dolls for his little sister's sake. It's okay. Another reason is we get to take breaks when my husband takes breaks. As I said, he doesn't work late in the day. He gets off pretty early, so it's nice to be able to go to the Lincoln or go to Omaha and enjoy things there while it's quiet, while it's not crowded, while it's actually cheaper and more affordable for our family to head out. So those are just a few reasons and why I have chosen to homeschool. And for the number one reason is because I feel God is calling me, and that's why I keep going. That is not the reason why we started, but I believe God used the reason of why we started for me to enjoy it and the kids to enjoy it and to move forward. I know this kind of seems like an all over the place video, but this is where I'm at, and this is where the kids are at, and I'm trying to be as honest and real and raw here as I possibly can, because my kids are where they are and we're just moving forward. We're taking a step forward every day, and that's all God requires of us. The Bible says in Proverbs 3, 5, and 6, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not into your own understanding. With all, in all thy ways acknowledge God, and he will direct his path. And I truly, truly believe that. And then there's another verse that says, you are a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. I believe God lights our path, so we just take the next step. I don't believe that God eliminates the next 10,000 steps for us. I think we have to trust in him and move for the next step. And that's what we are doing for this year, for this season, for this time. We are trusting God and taking the next step. And I know that everyone who trusts God just takes the next step, and they'll be okay with God. So with that being said, I hope you like this video. Please like and subscribe, and we will see you in the next video. Have a good night. Bye.